Yo, hey, you are tuned in to 108.9 Power 108.9. I am Ebony Emma Pill here with Armand Kadima.
Yes.
And we are Conscious Intercourse.
A place where we intertwine and share our experiences so we can accelerate our evolution.
All that good stuff.
Well, our spiritual evolution, right?
That's right.
We got to talk about how we transcend physical reality, through conscious intercourse.
That's right.
Right? Elevated consciousness.
Transfer of information.
Energy.
Right,
yes. All that good stuff, for us to really learn, return to our true essence.
That's right.
As conscious, elevated beings.
That's right.
Some of the things that we don't talk about, right?
A lot of things that we don't talk about.
That we're unconscious about.
Right.
So that's what it's all about.
Those conversations that get swept under the rug because, we don't do that.
Most definitely.
We've been raised we don't talk about that. we just keep that in the house. Keep that behind closed doors.
Indeed.
But we gotta heal. That's how we heal. We gotta be the village. We gotta
exactly.
We gotta talk about these things. We gotta be therapists to each other.
Ooh.
Even that word. Therapy.
Therapists to one another, huh?
We gotta be that.
I love that. That.
That's what we gotta be.
Most definitely. And today we have a special guest, brilliant entrepreneur, creative.
Yes.
Known as brother for many, many years. Learned a lot, taught me a lot. Throughout my experiences known with him. Kamal Grant.
Come on,
Mr. Sublime Donuts joins us today.
What's up?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Joining our conscious intercourse.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like you said, I've been knowing Armand for 10,000 years.
It's been a minute, man.
Been knowing you for a good minute too. So
yeah,
this is great. I appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Love y'all, and I love this setup. So.
Oh, thank you. We had to have you on. Talk about your journey. And your being an entrepreneur and a successful. Businessman.
Okay, yeah, I can tell you some stuff.
Yeah, you can tell us some stuff.
We can talk about the road.
The journey, right?
Where do we want to start?
Man, let's talk about Sublime Donuts. For anybody who's ever, had Sublime Donuts, you're very creative.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's an experience, definitely.
It's an experience. Very, very creative. So where do these inspirations come from?
Just everywhere. I mean, that's the thing about creative. I mean, I am creative. I think I'm creative, but I think it's everywhere. I mean, it's just really about combining ideas that you love and seeing how you can create them in your own voice. So if it's something, obviously I make donuts at the donut shop. But if it's something I like let's say I go out and I go to the grocery store and I get orange dreamsicle, and I'm like, how can I make this into donut form?
Exactly.
Then, I went to pastry school and I've been baking for years, so I know, so I can eat something and know the elements which I think make it work, and then say, okay, how can I take those elements and I can make them work in a donut form, and they can still be unique and new in the donut, but then also if you're eating it, you can be like, this kind of reminds me of something. So when people come in and get, which we call the Orange Dream Star at the shop, because it reminds them of Orange Dreamsicle, they say, what does it taste like? And I say, it tastes like summer memories of your childhood.
Okay.
Nostalgia,
very
right?
Nostalgia while you use the words out my mouth. Yes, exactly.
It tastes like chasing the ice cream man down the block. So,
oh wow!
And that's a taste. That's a taste.
It brings
that's
you
a
back.
smell. That's a feeling. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah, we got a s'mores donut. Tastes like memories of your friends talking over an open fire. That's what it tastes like. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's obviously what we're trying to do, and just trying to have fun with it, So doing stuff.
You mentioned the sickle donut, the s'mores donut, but I've seen some. Okay, you got some. What's one of the craziest donuts you have?
The craziest donut we have. We don't have anything too crazy right now, but we had a whole series called Will It Donut. That whole series called Will It Donut. I think you told me about this, that you stopped following me after you watched the Will It Donut.
That's the one with the crab?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was...
random things. So I had this wheel, I call Wheel-O-Donut or Will-It Donut. So we would spin the wheel, whatever it would land on. I had random, dishes on there, and I would try to make a donut out of it. So I had a lobster.
Yeah, the lobster one, man.
A lobster donut.
Oh my God.
And went and got a fresh lobster from the store.
Yo.
And I did a whole thing where... Because obviously every episode I want to make it fun and funny, so I'm like, how can I intro just instead of doing it? So I'm like, let me play with the lobster. So I took the lobster to the park and I put it on a swing and I pushed the lobster.
Oh,
and I swung around with the lobster. And there was some music playing, and then when music just stopped, you saw me crack the lobster and then put a knife into it.
Yo, that was
my
rough,
good
man.
friend of many years told me, stop following you after that. I said,
Oh my God.
Yo, that hurt my feelings, man. Because you were just hanging out with this dog, with this lobster all day in the park.
He really did that?
And then literally just crushed him.
The lobster was dead. The lobster was dead when I was pushing it in the swing. The lobster was never alive. The lobster been killed a while ago. And actually, I did buy the lobster fresh. But there's the whole thing on lobster in case y'all want to know.
Wow.
I did buy the lobster fresh from the store. But when I brought it back, I was like, I want to keep it alive for a minute before I, take care of it and eat it. So I poured some water, got a whole thing of water and put the lobster in right away. But the thing about taking a lobster straight out of, it's dry and put it straight in water, lobster actually drowned. You can't just throw it in water in just a regular out the tap water. Like it needs to have its conditions right, salt water and all this stuff. So when I put him in water thinking I was going to keep him alive, he actually drowned. And
the lobster drowned.
Yeah, so I had to go and I said, what the hell happened to my lobster?
This is terrible.
Oh my
God.
This is just terrible.
A better way to die than how they normally kill lobster. They normally throw it
in boiling water.
Boiling water, so he at least got to...
At least he died cool, right?
He died cool. Like, thought he was swimming again.
Serious.
You know what I'm saying? But,
wow.
So those were some crazy donuts we did. We had a whole bunch of silly donuts, and we put them on the menu for a week. Yeah, that one was a fun one. The lobster donuts. The chicken and waffles one, that's the one we kind of do regular. I mean, it's not on the menu right now, but that's a fun one we can do where we take chicken, shred the chicken, roast chicken, then shred it, then, put like egg whites, salt, pepper, sugar, a little lemon zest in there, and then form it into a ring so it looks like a perfect ring. Then we freeze it, and then we make a waffle batter.
Oh my God.
The chicken ring in the waffle batter, fry it, and then when it comes out, it looks like a perfect cake donut, but it's all chicken inside. Then put a maple icing on it. So chicken and waffles donut. So that one is A1, and that one people love that. So.
Man, that's
Didn't
amazing.
I see like a pork and bean one or something like that?
Oh wow.
Did you have like a pork and bean one? I'm like,
that was just the April Fool's donut. Ooh,
was it?
April Fool's is coming.
It's coming up, right? Couple weeks.
Well, so that one was just for April Fool's, so we never actually put that on the menu. It was just, let me put a picture up on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
outraged. And that looked disgusting. Actually,
yes. I was like, is he serious? Is he serious?
Yeah, no, that was just for that's just for the Instagram.
Yeah, just for the gram, right?
For the gram, gotta do it for the gram.
Nah.
So yeah, no, we didn't know that because if I would do a pork and bean donut, I wouldn't just throw pork and beans on top of a donut. I would actually think about how can I take the essence of pork and beans and make it into a donut. So it would be way more technical and it would be delicious. So
and you're thinking about it, yeah.
He put a lot of thought into that. He said put the essence of the pork and beans into the donut.
Hey,
right?
there's something for everybody, right?
Yeah, like it's the thing. Like even when we did, because what was one funny donut? I didn't think I could come up with a donut. So we did a salad donut. So instead of making a donut into salad, so we made a salad and took the donuts, the regular donuts, and chopped them up and made croutons with it.
Oh wow!
And then made a white chocolate vinaigrette, and then poured it over. So you still got the chocolatey of the but it's still a dressing. But
interesting.
It's a salad dressing with a little white chocolate and then donut crouton. So
that is very creative.
The donut, but you can still be like, this is a salad, but you can still be like, tastes sort of like a donut, so it worked and it was delicious. So that's what I would do. If I would do a pork and bean, we would just top it on top and make it be disgusting.
What?
Professional here, okay?
Right.
You lost me with the donut chopped up in the salad.
Right.
You lost
donut
me.
croutons,
well,
right?
It's the croutons. That's the thing. It's just croutons. So we take the crouton, we take the donut and we chop it up and then toss it in like a little sugar. Then we toast it so it's all toasted.
Oh, so they're toasted donuts.
Yes, croutons, but more delicious croutons and more
Wow.
donut tasting croutons. So it's like, so it's all dried out. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's
It's a winner,
creativity.
trust
I
me.
mean,
Yeah.
Trust me, if you get it and I give it to you, you would eat it and be like, this is great. Like, you know, those are donut croutons.
Yeah.
White chocolate vinaigrette, you'd be like,
wow,
Right.
that is
That's
interesting.
creativity at its finest, man. That is super dope, man.
Man, how
Yeah,
many
so-
locations do you have right now?
we got 2 locations, one on 10th Street in Atlanta. I don't know
Okay.
where all the listeners are at, but
Okay.
we're here in Atlanta. We got it it's on 10th
ATL.
Street. And
Okay.
then we got another one on North Druid Hills in Briar Cliff.
Okay.
And then we got 2 in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So if you go watch
Okay.
the Falcons play or the Atlanta United, you can go.
Nice,
Get a donut.
y'all hear
That's
that?
what's up.
Check them out. Check them out. Wow, so this like you. This is the child. You know, you bringing out some of your childhood,
inner
and
child,
your
right?
inner exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. I mean, I wanted to be a pastry chef since I was in high school, and me and Armand first
really?
linked up. So yeah, I mean,
And the home ec, you got inspired in home ec. We took that home ec together, remember? Right?
That's where the inspiration came from.
I remember.
I think about it before then.
Was it grandma? Were you in the kitchen with
grandma?
grandma?
Well, yeah, just then. I mean, I just really like
Mama?
to eat sweets and baked goods. So
Okay.
I was in like the food service class in Merida High School, and
Okay.
I think a chef
Merida.
came by, and I was like, you know what?
Nice.
You know, for some reason, I decided then that I needed to decide what I need to do with the rest of my life today. And I was like, I gotta decide. I'm gonna be a pastry chef. And well, I tell people, I think we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
We talk about passion and doing your passion. You say, people say, oh, you're lucky to find your passion, Kamal. And I'm like, I don't necessarily think. I mean, I am passionate about pastries. Obviously, I just talked about it.
Yes, very
I think I'm
elaborately.
just a
yeah.
crazy enough person where whatever I would have chosen at that point, I probably would have been passionate. If I would have been like, I want to be a DJ, like I'd be like,
He's the best DJ.
I'd
Okay.
be spinning tunes. So that's what I decided at that young age. And you know, after high school, I went to the Navy and I was a baker in the Navy.
Oh wow.
And even though nobody else, like all the rest of the cooks in there, hated being there, I was the only one like, nah, I want to do this for a living. They're like, nigga, you crazy.
Really?
So I had to leave the Navy because I'm like, y'all niggas, y'all not passionate like me. So I left the Navy, and then I went to culinary school. So I went to culinary school in New York. World's premier culinary college, the Culinary Institute of America, and learned the culinary arts there, baking and pastry arts, and then after that went to baking science school in Kansas, and learned the science.
Baking
This
science
is
school.
We got a PhD baker in here, man.
What?
Yeah, straight up, like a scientist, a baking scientist in here.
Kansas is the grain box of the bread box of America.
Really?
Where all the grain is made. So you go through Kansas, got all the wheat fields, so all the farmers
Learn
go
something
there.
new every day.
You know, there's obviously college like University of Georgia, a lot of agriculture. University of Kansas State, they do big grain science.
Wow.
So they got a grain science program where they teach about these farmers how to farm their grains, but also a part of that, because if you have grains, you got to know what to do with it. So
Exactly.
They got a baking science school, which has a lot of people that work for, these big corporations like Nabisco or Sara Lee or Flowers. They send all their employees, so when the big tanker trucks of flour come in, they actually know what to do with it. So I went to that school so I could learn the ins and outs of how to bake, the science of baking. So all the things of baking.
Man, you are a consummate professional baker.
I'm a crazy person. That's what I told you. I jumped into it and was like, yeah, this is cool. I'll keep doing it.
You went all in.
I like it.
You went all in to the limit.
Did you come against some people who try to discourage you? Like, come on, what are you doing? This ain't gonna be nothing. Like you tripping.
I mean, interesting. How have people? Maybe not in baking, but like, let's say when I first started the donut shop. Obviously, when I first started the donut shop, because I started the donut shop in 2008. And you got to remember this time, 2008. I don't know how big of foodies y'all are, but the food scene, like people really started becoming foodies around that time, because that was the time really social media was started blowing up. I was a foodie before then because I went to chef school, so
Right.
high quality food. So, but a lot of people were, starting to be foodies. So
taking a picture of everything they eat,
Yeah, and just really looking for the best of product. Because before then, like people now it's commonplace, but before then, you would just go to whatever your local place is on the corner. So
Exactly.
when I told people I want to open up a donut shop, first thing people said were like, we already have a donut shop. We already got Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly.
Why? Like, why do you need to do this? Like, there already is one that exists.
Right.
But I was like, I want to open up a better one. And
Right.
a lot of people didn't even understand that like there can be something better.
Conceptually,
and I'm like, so I even
exactly.
had to break it down. Like, you understand how there's Fords and there's Lamborghinis? I want to be the Lamborghini
There you go.
of donut.
Don't-
A lot
right.
of people still they're like
The
I don't
Lamborghini of
understand.
donut.
I don't understand
Straight
what this
up,
means.
right.
So, and this was before the boutique donut shop world existed. So when I opened it up, obviously a lot of the foodies started coming by. And even in those days, there was a fight with the customers because people would come in the shop. And obviously, these are high-end quality donuts. So we had to charge more than Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Probably 3 times the price.
Exactly.
And people would come in and be like, let me get a donut. Oh, what? How much? Oh, And they would walk out. I'd be
Straight
like,
up, right?
Right.
I'm good. Like, I'm not going to fight you over
Yeah.
this.
Right.
If you don't understand what we're doing here, high quality donuts, like, I'd rather fail doing what I want to do than try to lower
conform,
and cheapen
right?
my
There
brand
you
to
go.
try to
Wow.
get in. So even those early days, we didn't do a glazed or a chocolate donut, like, because that was people's default. Like, I mean, everyone goes to new places, and when you go to a new place, you don't, when you go
Try
to a new
new
restaurant,
things.
so there's 2 sorts of customers, I think. There's customers that, well, just everybody, 2 sorts of people. When you go to new things, some people are like, oh, I want to try the most unique thing. I want to try something new. And there's other people that be like, I don't trust new stuff. Let me try their standard. Let me see what their normal thing. So, obviously, I don't know, y'all are probably other friends that go to pizza place and be like, I'll just get their cheese pizza. And if they do this right, then I'll see.
Yeah, I've heard that a ton
Yeah.
of times. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to take away everybody's default. They're not going to come in here and be like, I'm going to try your glaze.
Yeah.
Right.
Compare it about, no. If
Yeah.
you come in here, you're going to try one of these crazy donuts, the strawberries and cream Reese's peanut butter cup Oreo donut.
Yeah.
Something that, because at the time, even those donuts are kind of blasé now, but at the time when we were doing those in 2008, nobody was doing donuts like
Yeah.
that. So no one was even thinking to put Oreos on a donut, which is so easy to do now.
Straight up, yeah.
But even though people are like, this is crazy. Oreos
I'm
on
like,
a
who
donut?
else is doing stuff like that? Is there anybody else doing stuff like that?
I mean, there's people that are doing it now
Well,
more,
yeah,
but
there's a lot
yeah.
of boutique donut shops
Okay.
opening up around
Yeah.
the country. I mean, and even Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme, they're getting into
Yeah.
adding in fun flavors. Like, like obviously, like the Star Donut. Talk about the Orange Dream Star. It's a star-shaped donut, and we have our
Oh.
raspberry-filled donuts are heart-shaped. So
Okay.
we've been doing that since the beginning, and people would start telling me because I mean now Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts, like during Valentine's Day, they'll do heart-shaped donuts. I'm like,
Exactly.
you see that?
Yeah, no,
We've
no,
been
you're a
doing that.
trendsetter, man.
They didn't do it before. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Right.
saying?
you're a
Did they
trendsetter,
directly
man.
look at me and say, "Oh, we're gonna copy this," or I
Maybe,
don't know,
maybe
but
not.
I ain't see it before then. I ain't
Yeah.
see it right.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but you ended up getting a lot of buzz in the beginning because I remember,
yeah, so that-
No,
No,
I
that
remember,
was
yeah.
it because it was different. Like no one was doing what I was doing, and that's another thing that's kind of unique right now. Not to say I'm the Godfather, but there was a few people. There
The
was
OG.
not even a real black food scene, like black
Straight up.
restaurants that were black owned. That there was a black owner back there or a black chef doing it, and the black owner, and made high quality food. I mean, obviously there was black food establishments, but it was like chicken spots or something.
Yeah.
In the hood, or the Jamaican spot down
Correct,
in the
yeah.
corner that's still bootleg.
Yes,
inside.
yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
Spawn divots.
Oh,
Is
that's
Fun Divots black? I
don't even know.
I know the spot that black folks go. That was the high-end spot.
the beautiful in the West End. I remember.
Beautiful was-
yeah,
that was the one.
The
That
one
was
spot that I
the
could think
only
of was
one.
like the beautiful, right?
There was the beautiful, and there was
Yeah.
a place called Rare
Yes.
in Midtown. And those were the only sort of black places. So
Correct.
so just having a black business and then not doing. Like, obviously, if you come in the shop, you can hear, black music playing. Like, I'm black, so I can't
Yeah.
stop being black. But
You're the
it's
first
not-
person that put me on to Drake too, by the way. First, I was just like, he's like, this new kid is blowing up. It's crazy. I was going to associate that day. I was like, what you talking about? I said, listen. He's going to be the thing. He's going to be the man.
Wow.
And I was like,
my
what?
employees put me on this. She just came from New York, and a California girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela Flanoy. She's doing great. Angela Flanoy, shout out.
That's what's up.
She actually a big time offer. She actually won the whole big prize. She's
Oh, wow.
now.
okay.
Wow.
Angela's doing great. Her book was like on what's the show? What's the show? Issa Rae. What was the Issa Rae show? Insecure.
Oh,
Insecure.
Insecure.
Wow.
Okay.
Issa Rae was reading her book on one of the shows. I'm like, look at Angela. She made it. So,
That's what's
Nice.
up.
yeah, so she was working for me for a little bit. Well, working with me, as I like to say. Working with me. Nobody works for me. They work
There
with
you
me.
go.
So she was
Yeah.
working with me, and she was like, oh, this new kid Drake. And I was like, yeah, you sing these old sad rap songs. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I fucks with this.
Straight
The
up.
sad rap tunes, okay?
Country rap too.
So you talk about it not being a lot of black-owned restaurants at that time.
Yeah, yeah, so there weren't a lot. So a lot of obviously people supported, and I got a lot of press for being like the one black guy who was a black chef, and obviously my resume speaks. It wasn't, and it was like high quality, like not trying to dumb down. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make a chicken wing spot or just or a cheap restaurant because people like to associate. There's an implicit bias in to my unconscious thing. I heard y'all talking about that. There's an unconsciousness where blackness is always associated with badness.
Correct. Yes.
With low quality, bad.
Very
black.
true.
It's like, and that's in like there's implicit bias in all of us, and I mean it comes from slavery. It's a whole deeper thing. We can always get into that.
we'll get into
it's
that.
Definitely deeper.
Right?
But
definitely
so
deeper.
obviously doing the donuts I were doing, it was high level donuts, and like you didn't see black people doing this. So
Correct. Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, and that was I was killing it. Had lines out the door, and that was about the days I used to be on the front helping customers. And, I would be helping, ringing people up. And it's funny, there'd be a white boy right next to me. He works for me. And I'll be helping the customer. I'm ringing them up, doing everything, blah, blah, blah. And I even got them my little fancy chef jacket. And they'll go to him and be like, "You're the owner?" And he's like, "No.
Right.
Right here."
Wow.
Like, oh. So, so people don't really expect, that from black people. So, just doing, and, donuts were the best,
So are the majority of your customer base black?
No. We do all of Atlanta, young, old, black, white. I mean, our customer base is donut based. If you love donuts, you come to the best donut shop.
That's what's up.
You can come in the donut shop and see business people taking them to work in the morning, taking them to school. Then you come late in the afternoon, see people taking them to their family. Then you come later, you see students from Georgia Tech coming after, before they go home to study. Then you come in the middle of the night, you'll see people leaving the club before they go home, grabbing donuts. So it's all sorts of people, young, old.
Wow.
So I know on the show we talk a lot about on this, program, Conscious Intercourse. We talk often about how being conscious, right? Making conscious decisions on who you are, how you're going to live your life, ultimately creates an attraction, and the universe conspires in your favor to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, right? So looking at your story, kind of watching it from the beginning, knowing that you made this decision at a young age, right, in your teenage years, to be a pastry chef. Went to the Navy, did that, went to school. And I remember when you first, talked about the shop, right, and how you just stumbled upon this place that was ready to go. Like, can you talk a little bit about that and expound further on did the universe truly conspire in your favor to because if you look at it, because I remember it all kind of fell into place, and I remember watching it was mind blowing. Because can you share a little bit about that?
I was very fortunate. I mean, I was thinking donuts were ready to be gourmetized. I was thinking of that probably a couple years before I had the shop. Even wrote a whole business plan a year before, and obviously looking around, seeing how could I do this? How would I be able to make build out a shop, make money? And obviously I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
And this is where I don't necessarily believe in the universe conspiring. I mean, things happen.
Here we go.
Life is I think life is random, but I think this is the thing. Like I said, I was a foodie before food was a thing. So, it was more of like, it was very fortunate and lucky. Like I wrote a business plan a year before, and I was looking around thinking, how can I open up a donut shop? So there was a donut shop, the current 10th Street location. It was a donut shop open a year before me. So there was a donut shop, the owner for which is now some chicken place. It used to be called City Cafe. It was a cafe on the corner. He took over that place and built out a donut shop. He had a baker there that they were going to make donuts. The baker quit on him.
Yes.
So it closed down. So so I went to the donut shop because I saw there was a donut shop and I like to try unique things. So I was like, let me see this donut shop make different donuts than Dunkin' Donuts. I went there, donuts were fucking terrible. And I was like, oh, this sucks for them. Damn, it sucks, So went back a couple months because I still like to support small business. Went back, even though they were terrible. I said, let me go back. I'm around town, and they were already closed. And I was like, oh. So let me
not surprised.
I was like, I'm talking all that shit, you know what I'm saying? I got a big 4 lease sign. Let me call this guy up and see if I can make it happen. And he was like, first question he asked me, are you a baker? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, you can tell me the story. I was a baker, quit on him. So nobody else, and that's the thing about like this particular field, and even every employee that's ever worked with me, like cooking or something, you can pull someone off a line cook job. Nobody really knows how to bake, and nobody knows how to make donuts. So it's a real particular field. Even hiring people, like there's no one has ever brought other skill sets. I think I got one guy. I got probably two guys, Jay, and they came. But even then, I had to teach them the donuts you made at the last place were shitty. Okay,
right?
So we're gonna
like level up, right?
We're gonna retrain you, and we're gonna do things the right way. So, but so I started off, and so it's very fortunate because I would not have been able to build out that place on my own. Would I even be here, or what would I be doing with my life if that donut shop wouldn't have been there?
And you think it was just random, huh?
Life is fucking random, man. Life is random. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah. I think the conscious decision, where we're talking about consciousness, is when you have your mind set on something, like, because I am a baker and I like the field, it was something that I thought about consistently. So it was something that I was actively looking. So
exactly.
If I wasn't thinking about it, obviously I would have passed by it and be like, I don't really care. Like, but I think so I think that's where I think the things get, and obviously, everybody's got their own opinion.
I mean, it's perspectives, right?
It's definitely perspective.
Because when you think about, if you're successful because something happened, you say, oh, yeah, the universe conspired, and I was thinking about this before, but you were thinking about it all the time, and you saw the opportunity when it popped up, where someone else who wouldn't think about it, they would just, there's a million things passing by every day.
Correct, yeah.
You can't pick out which ones to stop and take a look at. So you happen to be thinking about this, and you'd be like, oh, let me stop and take a look.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. But no, man, I don't know. I think life is too random because that's the thing. It's easy for me to sit up here with a success story and be like, yeah, the universe conspired for me.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
You manifested it, right?
There's a lot of people that probably sat and dreamed of donut shops also, you know what I'm saying? And they're not here with the same success story, but they probably put in more work than me, and they couldn't come here because they never saw that opportunity or never fell in their lap, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just random, man. Luck in life happens, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Interesting you say that, because like I said, I remember watching it from the beginning, right? It just so happened you found this place that was just recently closed. Had all the equipment, was ready to go. It was almost like out of the box, right? And it just so happened you had this friend that was an accountant that just had a relationship with this micro lending company, right?
Oh,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was like, hey, come on, by the way, you need some little extra cash, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you was that link to that? I forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? This great accountant named Armand Kadima, you know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, by the way, right?
That's a good story. It's funny how that is a definitive moment, but it's crazy how looking about that now, because it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot. It was like $5,000, right?
It was $5,000.
Yeah, but it wasn't much.
But what it came through, because the whole story. Shit, I had 15. I think I had 15 grand ish. So around there, 15 grand ish in my bank account to do whatever I want. But that was like 401k stuff, or whatever. So. Yes, I got, the shop and, took over the lease and obviously did the things to take out all the money out of my 401k. And it was taking months to get there. It took some time or whatever, the paperwork. So that's when I was like, I ain't got this goddamn rent.
Exactly, right?
It's taking my rent coming up. I ain't got this rent. So, went to the micro lenders and they gave me money, and, that was great. So they could come through and they're able to pay the rent. So, but it's, it's a lot of things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, there's that's what I'm saying. Because I think, I don't know. I just think, because when you start talking about like the universe conspiring
or manifesting,
then you start blaming people for not being successful, and that's where I think it's a slippery slope in saying that, oh, I deserve this and I got this because the universe wanted me to have it because I thought positively about it. Oh, why aren't you successful? Because maybe the universe doesn't want you. It's a slippery slope, like you're blaming people, and I think obviously the reason my success is because of, the very lucky, fortunate to see the donut shop, and then obviously you to come through with that so I could get $5,000 so I could pay that rent, and then also so I could and then the bloggers and stuff coming by.
Yeah.
Because then even then, the HAC and all these people, like, we're still like a couple months in, not making no money.
Exactly.
We're still struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, the bloggers came in, and like I remember the last month before we really kicked it off and went to the stratosphere. Like, I had to take the money out the register and put it in there before that rent check. That check would have bounced on the rent. So it still ran through all that 15 grand so
quickly, right?
It happens. It happens.
But I think that's what I'm saying. You start blaming people, be like, oh, I don't know. I think it's just a slippery slope. Like, because a lot of people are putting in the same amount of work. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that work very hard. And that's the thing. We start blaming especially poor people and be like, you get these fucking Elon Musk types. You start blaming fucking poor people and be like, you don't work hard enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, poor people literally work the hardest. Are you kidding me?
This is so true, yeah.
Poor people work
the slaves work the hardest,
slaves
right?
work the hardest, you know what I'm saying?
So
Slaves
true.
work the hardest. But even poor people right now, like low income people work 2, 3, 4
They
jobs
work,
just to provide. And, it's really about they're because of the system has put them in certain positions, and then they don't know how to get out. Like I was fortunate, like even before then, like my dad wasn't, and I think even just me even having the foresight, because I never really wanted to open up a donation. Like, I'm an entrepreneur now and I got a whole nother business I'm working on, and I love this shit. But I was quite content. If I would have got a job at Dunkin' Donuts in the research development factory, I'd just be doing that. Be like, I'm good. Like, I can do this. Like, I just wanted to create products. So I was working at the big bakery, and I was like, I want to create stuff, and I don't have the opportunity here. And I applied for research development jobs, and no one ever gave me a job. So if Burger King would have gave me a job working in Burger King research development place, I'd have been like, oh, this is cool. I make new burgers every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is great. But and then before that, like my dad, he's an accountant, got his own accounting thing. He just he's getting money right now, but shit, me, I didn't grow up with money. You know what I'm saying?
I remember them days, man. The Franklin Road days, man.
Like my whole childhood, like poor. You know what I'm saying? Well, obviously there's levels of poor, so I wasn't super poor. You know what I'm saying?
But you were on Franklin Road, man.
Back
when it was real Franklin Road, Marietta. Shout out to Franklin Road.
And speaking of that, we're gonna take a break real quick. Speaking about paying the bills, we're gonna come right back. We're gonna take a break and get right back into that.
Conscious intercourse.
And we are back. Conscious
intercourse.
Here with Kamal Grant, the Donut Man.
We are intertwining, and sharing our experiences, elevating.
Yes. Talking about manifestation and, what's coincidence.
Yeah.
Or the randomness of things.
Or the randomness of things, right?
Random.
Wow.
So a little bit what I was saying with my dad. He had an accounting business, so I think just seeing that he had his own business, like it wasn't a foreign thing to me. So he wasn't successful, but it wasn't foreign. Where I think a lot of people who so that's why every time people ask, like Marietta wanted me to go speak again to them, high school, just to speak to the kids and say there's someone that can open their own business. Like you got to see that people have been open, because even when I was first starting the business, I remember people like, congratulations. I'm like, nigga, I ain't done nothing yet. I could be back at this job this next week. Like,
I'm broke right now, right? Got no money.
So it is that thought of like a lot of people don't really see that, especially the people, like, you know, being at the old bakery I was at, like that's the type of people I was, you know, hanging around at the time, you know, and I mean, it's still the type of people I hang around. I don't know rich folks like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just regular, average black folks, and you don't see a lot of black folks with their own business, because it's even crazier. And that's why I think, I probably was one of the first. Yeah, definitely was, because this was, when I first opened it up, this blew my mind. The guy that came and checked, you know, did the, the inspection, the health guy or whatever, like he came through and he was inspecting. He was like, "Oh, you the owner?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That's what's up." He's like, "You don't see a lot of them," and he inspects all the places in Atlanta.
Right.
Wow.
And he was like, "We be thinking we own the places, but we don't be owning them."
Wow.
I was like, I did not know. So 2008. So I mean, now like there's plenty of restaurants, and a lot of restaurants are killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish I'd have got out there, because I had some things. I knew brunch was gonna be popping. I was like, I need to open up a brunch spot. Now brunch is everywhere. I'm over it, so I wouldn't do that. But but all these people are killing it. You know what I'm saying? They're all making great money, and black people are supporting them, because I mean, people didn't really realize that there was this. I mean, we always knew Atlanta had a black, strong middle class, but really wanted to support our own things. And, you know, we always would go to other restaurants. There's always things, you know, Black Houston's or something. Would support. But
Papa Do's.
I mean, like
eating steak and shrimp.
Like you said, Spun Divots. Like Spun Divots was the spot. Jesus shouted them out. That was the
exactly
spot.
Right.
So now it's so now there is like
lots of black owned restaurants. Now.
So it was a different time. So just seeing that. So that's the thing. I was fortunate enough to see that my dad had his own accounting thing, even though he wasn't making money or rich. I could be like, oh, this, like, you can have your own business. Like, it's not a thing. Like, just do some paperwork. It's not like a magic. And I think not understanding that or having that, you know, someone that you can see do that. So that's why a lot of people are in that situation. So it is random, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a slippery slope to be like, I mean, you ain't, you're poor because you ain't manifested enough. You haven't thought highly enough about yourself. It's like, I don't know, man. A lot of people think highly about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, do they though, right? Because we have to think about that as well. Because if you're going to talk about, you know, earlier we were talking about how deep the effect of slavery have had on us as a people, right? So do people that were slaves or descendant of slaves think highly of themselves, right?
Well,
that's one of the questions that I ponder upon. It's like, how can you really think highly of yourself when you've been oppressed generationally? Your DNA's been oppressed, right?
It's even deeper than that. I just listened to another podcast. Not as good as this one. But this is the best.
Not. Right? Of course not.
I listened to another one. They were talking about implicit bias and how, you know, I don't know if you know what that term, but implicit bias, how we all have an implicit bias. Like, when you see things like, you know, black or white, you know, fat, skinny, like, people automatically before, you know, judge, you know.
Correct.
And there's a way, like, Harvard got this thing, and everybody can go track it down, and you can go test out your implicit bias. Maybe y'all should do that before a show and judge what y'all were biased about.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Check it out.
There's a man-woman thing you can do, so now that since so many people have went on and took this test of implicit bias to see if, and there is implicit bias, but they even went deeper now that they got so much of a research on it. That, because it was with the lady just said who was doing the study, she said, you know, back when Abraham Lincoln was going to war with the South and whatnot, he looked at, you know, county by county, which county had the most slaves. So he can know, okay, which one are going to fight the most. Let me figure out which county by county. So there's a whole historical data where you can go back and look at which county had the most slaves that Lincoln commissioned. And she took that data with the implicit bias data to see which places do white people think, you know, less than black, think black people are less than, you know what I'm saying? And it matches up. It correlates. And the crazy part of what she was breaking down about it is it's not the same people living here, or not even the same ancestors. Like people
Exactly.
move, you know what I'm saying? And people
Correct.
move out, but because it was there, like it just gets taught and
Exactly.
it just keeps regenerating. So when you're saying like are slaves like that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're a slave, it's not because you're a slave. It's like you're African.
Yeah.
You can bring an African from here, and because he's growing up in this right now,
Correct, yeah.
he's gonna grow up with the same implicit bias that
Indeed.
the slave owners and feel and grow up in this
100%.
shit.
No,
this fucking
it's
shit
like-
that we
That's
have.
very true.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's the same thing. I mean, my little history. My parents are from Panama, and my parents from Panama, but. I got to pray niggas down. The slaves came all over, so it was, so still slavery. But Panama doesn't have as much of it's black or white.
Exactly.
Obviously, white. Even when Panamanians tell me this, I'm like, you don't think it because that's what poor people think. But white
Exactly.
people, but if you notice who's the rich class, they're all fair skinned. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They're not
yeah.
even dark Panamanians.
No.
Like
Right.
they're not even the Hispanics who we think of the Hispanics. They're all the Selma
Correct.
Hayeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
all the Harvey
Indeed.
Bandems. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
They're
yeah.
all white.
So when you mention implicit biasness, it's really based on your experience, where you come from.
Well,
Like,
it's based on everything. It's based on life. Like
Yeah.
we all grow up with that, and we have so knowing that even us, like I haven't taken the test, and I'd hate to take it and see because I think they have shown that a lot of black people see black things as positive, and I think I would because I love niggas. Niggas is great. Okay,
Right.
but. Yeah, you start seeing like we all have a bias of what we think is bad and what we think is good,
Yes.
what name we think is bad, what we think is good, you
Yeah.
get people to start like, what do you think dating an average black woman is like, and all these fucking negative fucking connotations come up, and I'm like, all the black women I've dated in my life, none of them, like they're all the opposite of that. They're all
Exactly,
caring,
yeah.
loving
Right.
people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Wow.
Why do we got all this aggressive? Won't
Yeah.
listen to men like they all do. They listen.
Right.
So it's all this. It's so fucking ingrained to us, and it's not just ingrained in like white people. It's ingrained to our pop culture. Like,
Exactly.
like our pop culture. Every comedian does a joke on it. Like, I just started talking about with a friend and heard something online talking about like this new age. What was the like minstrel, new age minstrel? How to really get like popping on social medias and stuff? You got to be like, this is good. This chicken good, and if you start thinking about it, you start seeing it like, damn, we even start feeding into it like,
wow.
like the Blue Flakes and the Krishan Rock. Oh, let's see their fucking life. Bad Girls Club. Like we're feeding into this minstrel shit. Like like this is all black people are, and like black people are multi-layered. Like we're
Yes,
we're
we
a lot of
Exactly.
things.
We
Like
are.
we're loving, we're caring.
Yeah.
We can be
Everything.
calm. We can be chill. You know what I'm
We
saying?
can be intelligent, right?
they want to
yeah.
highlight certain things.
Yeah, but we
right?
highlight it, but then even we start feeding into it too, and it's this whole thing of like it's in there and it's everywhere. So it's knowing that implicit bias exists, and then being like, look, let me make a conscious decision not to do it. So when y'all
Correct.
talk about the unconscious and conscious, that's what I was thinking when y'all did y'all's intro. It's like we all have an unconscious bias that we need to try not to put on other people and shit.
And I
So-
think that's what it is. That's what we talk about here. Like you said, the consciousness and being aware of learned behavior, right? Being
Correct.
aware of our trauma throughout life, and being and like you said, you manifest things because it was on your mind. You said that. You said it was all you thought about. You saw you pretty much saw yourself in this donut shop. You saw it. That's how you manifested. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean,
I appreciate
that's
it.
a good point.
that's a
right?
real thing, and
But-
that's where it starts. That's the law of
Yeah.
attraction. You create, you
Yeah.
drew that to you because it was all that was on your mind. It wasn't just on your mind. You saw it. You pictured yourself in a donut shop.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
just,
a
even you
slippery
mentioned
slope.
it, right? Just so that you have, even the fact that you have 15 grand
I'm
in a
listening.
401k, right?
Yeah.
How many people actually find themselves in that position, right?
Yeah, no,
because you put in the work.
Yes.
You put in the work. You saved.
Yeah.
You didn't turn up and go to Magic City, right? and drop $1,000, right? You saved it in your 401k, right? So it's like. So to me, it's like part of manifestation also requires you putting in the work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it requires effort. It's the works that associate that follow faith, right? That's part of you manifest, you create this vision of what you want to be, and then subconsciously you put these emotions, this rhythm and emotion that allows you to then get up every day and make the conscious decisions that lead you to obtaining your dream, right? That's to me what manifestation is. It's not just sitting here and saying, oh, I want to be this, and then sitting on the couch waiting for this to happen. It follows, action follows those thoughts, right? Those imaginations and those visions. And from your story, I see how you want to, like you made this decision, and then and you imagined yourself as being a pastry chef, and then actions followed that led you on that particular path. Yeah. To me, that's what manifestation is. It's not just
something spooky out of nowhere. Exactly. I'm picking you. I'm choosing you. The universe only.
But you put in the work.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think you definitely have to plan. Like, not planning is planning to fail. So that's what I tell everybody when I do speeches about business. Like, you have to put a business plan together. If you don't put a business plan together, you're gonna fail. Like, because a business plan, you think about everything and you constantly think about it and try to figure out what's best for your business. But I just feel like this manifested. I feel you, because there is a power of positive thinking. Yes. Like, another thing I just listened to where there's a power, like, even saying negative thoughts they can't creep into, like your bias and start doing stuff. But I just feel like because right now, like black people are great. Like, we're doing great, and we can achieve a lot of things we couldn't achieve.
Correct.
10 years ago, but. But that's what I'm thinking. When I think about that I'm thinking, but I'm guaranteeing, like, in the 60s, black people were manifesting, but they got a foot put on their neck. You know what I'm saying? So then when you start saying, oh, why didn't it come to them? Was it then because that's how these white people even tricked us into thinking slavery was a good thing, is thinking we're not worthy. You know what I'm saying? I forgot where it was. It was something that I saw. I don't know if it was a special on a show, but it was something where an old black lady. It was something. It was just something, but it was like an old black lady from Mississippi and someone's mom. It was someone's mom, and they were just like, I just felt like black people weren't worthy. Like, but that thought was ingrained, and it's like, and I don't know. I think it's just too slippery, man.
It's a slippery. No, I'm with you because I look at my life, for example, right? Yeah. I think I've talked to you about it. I'm like, all right, me losing my parents at a young age, right? Yeah. My wife passing away, right? Was I manifesting this crap?
No.
Did I manifest and say, hey, I want my wife to die during child labor so I can be a widower, father of 8 children, right? I was not manifesting that. Like, that's not, even for you, right? Things that happen to you in your life. Like, you weren't sitting there manifesting.
Of course not.
Being a widower, being a widow, rather, like, you didn't manifest all those things.
We can't control everything.
So it's like, so I'm with you. It's almost like certain things happened that are just out of or just random, right? Yeah. It's like, it's either, we're familiar with the terms fate or destiny, right? Are some things just fate? Is it just some people's destiny to be poor or to be lynched? Or to be, what I'm saying, like, because
is that what it is? Like,
because literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Till movie just came out. I couldn't go watch it, right?
No, I don't watch these trauma porn movies anymore.
But that happened. Did his mom manifest that? Did he manifest that? Or was that just fate and destiny? Is there an overarching power or being that controls and dictates what happens to people? Like, what is that?
No, I think it's random. Life is random. Fucking terrible people are terrible, and they fucking get away with shit and live a fucking good life. Because that's the thing. Another thing you think, oh, well, let me be a good person, do this. Like, there's shitty people that are doing amazing. You know what I'm saying? That are doing great
too. Because I've heard about that. Talk about karma. Oh, they're gonna get what they get. I'm like, it's been 400 years.
No,
but they're still doing this crap. It's been thousands of years.
Yeah, the shitty people that are gonna do great. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I say now, like, life is too random. You can make your own choices.
Right.
I mean,
you choose how to react.
You choose how to react. I mean, you definitely should think positive, make your own choices to like go after your dreams and do that. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, sometimes it just doesn't happen, and it's not your fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault because you're not less than. You're not unworthy. Like, sometimes the chips don't go your way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even like y'all just said, like, we definitely had that conversation when your wife passed, and I was like, no, it definitely isn't your fault, because it's too big. It's bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, it's so much bigger, and there's so many things. So, because even if like your wife passing, it didn't just affect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It affected her
Exactly.
parents. It affected
Yeah.
all your kids.
Yeah.
Did all your kids do something fucking wrong? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Did
Did
they not
everybody
think
do
positive?
right?
Like,
Right.
no. So it's so many things. So it's like, no, and that's the thing, we start to get around, like, and I think, and I don't want to knock y'all and act like, yeah, this is all shit. Y'all's philosophy is shit. I hate y'all. But we start thinking like everything revolves around us and shit, and it doesn't. Like, life is random. Like we're here, you know what I'm saying? We're here for a good time. So we're here for a short time. So might as well have a good time. Might as well treat people right while we're here. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to live. I'm trying to treat people right while I'm here, have a good time while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And respect the people. You know what I'm saying? And try to leave a good legacy and not, you know, fuck anybody over.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? To say like, oh, I've been anointed. This is owed to me, you know, like fuck these Kanye West and some shit. Like, it disgusts me. Okay, like, it just disgusts
But
me.
in the midst of all that, just be conscious of your thoughts. Just be mindful of
This is
things that
true.
you're constantly focusing on.
Yeah.
Like, you could be focusing on all the hate. What they telling you aren't and what you can't do. And if you focus on that, then that becomes your life.
Yeah, you definitely have to think positive. I mean, I didn't used to think that, and that's another thing where I think we recently talked about. I changed on that, where I used to think, positive thing. And hey, look at anything. Because I mean, even we're talking about the donut shop. Like, I never thought for a second. I just wanted to open up a donut shop, and that was it. And stop.
Just right there, right?
Open up a donut shop, locals come by, stop. It wasn't, I want to open up a donut shop and be on the Food Network. I want to open up a donut shop and be in magazines. I never thought that. So for that to happen, it's great. I mean, was the end goal when I opened up the donut shop to make the best donut in Atlanta? Yes. So did that equal to all those things? Yeah, that made those things happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like. But yeah, so I used to be on that. No, you know, I think positive, but I recently heard that yes, negative thinking does start affecting you negatively. And
Absolutely.
you definitely should start, you know, obviously thinking more positive, and, you know,
Regardless of the circumstances.
yeah, regardless
right?
of circumstances. But I mean, I'm even personally like, I think negatively all the time. So I say this only to say, because I try to be better, and that's the thing. Even in this conversation, like, I try to be better. I think negatively, like, shit. You meet me every other day, I'd be like, I'm the dumbest nigga in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
But you know, obviously, you know, try to be better. So it is hard. So I don't know. I ain't got the answers, man. I just try to figure it out too.
But whatever you're doing, you know, it's working for you. Right? It's working for you.
It is. We chug-a-lugging along. Chug-a-lugging.
I mean, that's the good thing about, you know, having this conscious intercourse, right?
Right.
It's like you're able to gain perspectives and ideologies, you know, and thought patterns that we all can learn from each other, right?
That's right.
Because, you know, even you and I have had, you know, several conversations about just a lot of different facets in life. You know, I remember one point in time you and I were talking about, you know, men and having multiple women, right? And we talked about how, you know, in the Bible it talks about how men, you know, some men had, you know, kings had 100 wives or 1,000 wives, King Solomon, this, that, and the other. And people get out there and say, hey, this is how it should be. Men should have all these wives and things of that nature, right? But then it's like the man can have all these wives, but then the women cannot. They're supposed to just sit there and wait for their turn, right? And you know, having a dialogue, and I was just like, yo, you know, this is how it's happened. This is how it should be. You know, in the animal kingdom, you see it. Then you were just like, come on, bro. Like, think about it. You think these women just sat around?
What you tell
She was like, these women just sat around and did nothing. And just waited.
Waited
like,
for
for
this
man, they turned on, you know, the 100th day of the month of the year for them to get their turn. It's like
they were fucking the stable hand, and
right, the water boy, right? When they was fetching water,
half of them he didn't know they was his kids. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's it. Like, if you, I mean, and I'm kind of open to this. I'm on either side. I mean, I don't know, but I think it can work. If it can work with your partner, it can work. But to sit and think that only men should be able to go out and have multiple partners, like, obviously, you know, some women, and not speaking for all women, it's only some few women, like, they want to be with they'd rather just fuck one guy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I just want to do this. But some women be like, no, I want to have two guys. I want to have a different guy.
Exactly.
And to think that only men want that and only men should be allowed to, so I'm going to go fuck multiple women.
Yeah.
Let's say have sex.
That's a better way of phrasing it.
Conscious intercourse.
But to think that all
right?
men think the same and all women think the same.
No, so that's what
Absolutely
it's like. These guys that, all these kings that we look at had all these multiple women in the past. No, like these women had multiple. They had a guy on the side. They weren't just waiting around in their room for him to come by. Third Thursday of every month. Like, no, let me go down.
Right, we don't know the whole story.
No,
because who's writing the stories, right?
Right,
because we don't know the whole story.
Exactly,
who wrote the stories and chose to only
stories?
give us this perspective, right? We, like you said. Think about it. There was,
and these are new things. Like I've recently read in this book that I've been reading, this good book called *Sapiens*, and it talks about how there's been different structures in societies. Like the structure in society before, we really knew what was going on. Like the woman would have sex with everybody in the tribe because they thought that everybody brought something. They thought that combining the sperm, like, oh, this guy's smart, this guy's strong, so let me have sex with multiple guys so we can, and then we all raise the children together.
So you put all the semen in her to create this person.
Well, they were just open to
supposedly create this person or this child that is connected to everybody.
Yeah,
so it's a shared responsibility,
but that is how it is.
It's a shared responsibility.
No one knows who the father is.
Exactly.
The child is connected to everybody, so everybody's raising the child. And I think that's.
Then we should go to that.
I think
I'm gonna let you have that thought by yourself.
Well, the problem is everybody's too selfish nowadays. That's
exactly,
why we can't go
selfish,
to that. Everybody thinks it's all about them. But I mean, no, it's okay. I mean, I think it's with every system.
This is not a community thing.
Yeah,
no, we're not doing that.
Hey, they survived. That's how we got here, right?
Yeah,
like you said, that's an interesting book. You call *Sapiens*, right?
I mean, *Sapiens*, but it's not a community. No one's saying like you have to have sex with everybody right now. But the reality is, you've had sex with more than one guy in your life, right?
But the thing about it is, the interesting thing about it is, it's happening anyways, though.
I'm not saying at the same time, but the thought, because that's my thing about even monogamy. Like, if you've already had sex with more than two partners,
of course,
so to sit and be like, this is my pussy and I own it, like you've already been with someone else. You've already done the nasty, something so nasty I don't even want to think about. So
this is true.
So why am I? Oh, now that we're together, you need to do this for me. It's like, what do we got on this fucking ownership? Like, hey man. But obviously, I'm not in a relationship right now. If I was in one, I don't know how it would feel. It's easy for me to say that right now. But if I felt deeply in love, I may be like, nah, bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
See, I cannot.
You better stay right here with me. Don't cheat on me. But I'm
donuts.
I cannot.
Oh, man, I've been on the other side of that. I've been on the side where a married couple, a woman that was a friend of mine, and she was married, and her husband maybe stepped out, and he told him it was okay because they weren't having sex no more. Yeah, and we hung out, and it was cool with him. Like, it blew my mind. She was like, yeah, he's so happy. He sees me so happy. And he's like, I'm so glad you hanging out with Kamal. And I'm like, hold on, this nigga know my name?
Wow.
So it can work out. I mean, it didn't work out for us because I think she fell in love with me, but that's a whole nother thing.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, she fell in love with the donuts. You feed her donuts every night.
I was like, you got a husband. We can't be together.
It works out till it don't.
This is very, very interesting.
But always interesting conversation on conscious intercourse.
We don't have conversations here.
We have intercourse.
Consciously, right?
Consciously. Kamal Grant, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much for joining our show.
Tell us more about, you mentioned you got other businesses going on. Tell us more about you, what you have going on, and how we can connect with you. And
got some gifts.
Snap.
I got some gifts, okay? Here, I got some
Magic Middles.
Okay.
I got my new thing. Magic Middles. So
what is that?
This is my new cookie brand. Y'all need to go support it. Go buy these cookies. Magic Middles. Check us out. Kamal's.kitchen. Magic Middles. There are a couple Savis around town, so
I
appreciate it, man.
No, that's what's up, man. It's just got the little Kamal over there.
Some little guy on there.
What is that thing that you got in your hand, man?
It's a rolling pin.
A rolling pin.
Roll out the dough.
Look at that, rolling out the dough. Okay, I like that, man.
So go. Hopefully, go talk to your local grocer. Say, please put this in the grocery store.
Middles. Y'all see it? Check it out.
Yeah.
That's
wasn't
what's up.
that something that? Tell us the story behind that. Like, what you wrote the name Magic Metals? What is that?
Yes, it is. Well, Keebler used to own this brand in the 90s, and I really love these cookies. So, as I obviously started baking and got into more things.
We're going to do something right here.
We'll taste them.
Yeah, we're gonna give a reaction to this.
So they discontinued it, so I went and bought the trademark, and now I own Magic Middles, and I'm bringing them back better.
Magic Middles.
I don't do a lot of sweets, but we're going to try
this. That sounds
enticing.
Okay,
Magic Middles. Wow.
Little crisp cookie inside, chocolatey filling. No, crisp cookie outside, chocolatey filling inside.
Okay.
Right.
Pretty good.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Okay,
Support.
come on.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Support.
Now we definitely got you. So Magic
That's
Middles,
good.
right?
This is the future, okay?
Yeah.
Supporting little Magic Middles.
Well, so where can people get some? Are there in any stores currently? Or
Right
what's the process?
now, they're in a couple Salvies around Atlanta area.
Okay.
I'm setting up the Amazon right now. Hopefully that'll go live next week.
Okay.
And you can go, Kamal's.kitchen and check it out, or magicmiddles.com and check us out. So
That's what's up. And Sublime
Check 'em
Donuts.
out.
If you're in Atlanta,
Sublime.
the donut spot,
Yeah.
Sublime. You got any at Sublime Donuts? No,
we don't have any at the donut
But
stop.
you get
Let them know,
donuts.
let them know where the donut spots
Yeah.
are.
Donut spots
Okay.
are 10th Street and hold on. Tell them where my shop is at.
Yeah.
You come to the shop. We got 535 10th Street, Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, Midtown, West Midtown. And we got another one on North Druid Hills and Briar Cliff. So come check us out.
And Mercedes-Benz, if the Falcons,
go
check
buy
out
some
the
Magic
games,
Middles.
check out Sublime
Stadium.
Donuts, get your energy going.
Buy some Magic Middles,
Cheer on the
okay?
Falcons. Man, thank you so much. Much gratitude. Come on.
Yes, come on. Check them out, y'all.
Yes.
It's
I
hilarious.
appreciate y'all for having
Thanks
me.
for joining
Yeah.
us. Conscious Intercourse, y'all.
Conscious Intercourse. Until next time. Infinite
Hey, those are pretty
matriculation. Let's go.
Thank you.